So now we will see what are structural elements. Basically, when we write a large content, we may have something like all the content will be one after the other. Let me show you what I mean to say. Let us go to the structural elements. I want to put it as third one. Okay. So what are the structural elements we have? So structural elements are basically lists. Okay, then before that you have P, list, tables, divisions. These are the basic structural elements we have. We have some other, but let us understand these things. Okay. So let me go to the structural element and we'll have the let us understand paragraph element. Suppose let me create some paragraphs here. For example, this is one paragraph. I'll copy this and paste it over here. Go to um, word wrap. Yeah. Okay, this is one paragraph, right? So this is, let me take up, let me have this as another paragraph. So here I have two paragraphs, isn't it? So if I save this, if you see the output, it will surprise you. Okay. It surprise you. Let me see the output. Oh, come on. Here. Oh, this is another program, right? Let us go back to the practice practice folder and double click on it. So even though we have two paragraphs, basically the second paragraph, let's talk more about the computers. This particular part, where is this particular part? Let's talk more about the computers. Yeah, here. So this is supposed to come as another paragraph. What happened with the HTML is whatever the spaces we have in the HTML, those all spaces will be removed from the from the code. So HTML don't consider this entire thing as a space. So if you want to display this entire part as one separate paragraph and this one as separate paragraph, you have to put this entire division, this entire content in a paragraph element. I'll cut it and I'll put it in a paragraph. And for this also I'll create another paragraph and I'll apply this entire content in paragraph. Save it. And now you refresh the page. You can see this entire content is coming as one paragraph. There is a break and another paragraph here. Basically, paragraph gives you some space after the content. Okay, that is called margin. Okay, it will give you some margin after the content. So now, so same content, you can do that with the division also. There is another element called division, div, 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 div. So this is also fine, but the difference is, yes, it will create another division. It is coming as separate part, but there is no space. That is the difference. Okay. So let us go back to the paragraphs only, and you can see the difference here. Paragraph. Okay. So now the part is, generally you can apply some style also to this. Okay. Style is equal to, general styling is text indent is 20 pixels. Save and see that difference. Ah, so here you can see some indentation. That means the paragraph is not directly starting from the left corner. It is coming with a space. This is called as indentation. This part is called as indentation. So indentation, if you want more indentation, you can still have more indentation. Apply that style attribute with a property called a text hyphen indent. Check the spelling properly and apply the style properly. So the same type of styling, if you really want to apply, yes, you can apply this. So here, if you observe, both the paragraphs are coming along with the indentation. You have some space between this. But I mean, in the starting. Okay. You can apply the first letter, capital, all these things, but let us first go along with it. Okay. Next. So, okay. Next. Sometimes you want to group multiple elements. So generally division will be used for grouping of elements. Okay. So please apply the division to the entire content. So what is the benefit out of it is, if you, okay, group it and just give a tab space for the both the programs. It is not needed, but program looks better. So now if you observe this, there is no difference, but these two are grouped together. What is the purpose is, if you group it and if you apply the style is equal to, I'll give you some better style that is called as text, sorry, wait a minute, color red. If I save it and refresh the page, you can see both the paragraphs have become color red. So by grouping, you can apply the common styling to multiple elements at a time. So the color is applied for both this paragraph as well as this paragraph, both the paragraphs. Otherwise, you have to write down the color property individually to first paragraph and separately into second paragraph. So like this, you can apply the division for both the group for grouping the different elements. After this, you have to understand one more point. That is, sometimes you may need to display the content in a bullets or in a list kind. If I write it like this, India, England, Pakistan, New Zealand, like this. Suppose if you want to, if I write it like this, they will not display as one after the other. See this output, they are all coming one beside the other, right? So if you want to display as a list, okay, so you need not to worry. We have a list kind that is called UL, unordered list. So this is the parent element. This will be on the top. Inside that, each country, each list item should be given inside one list item element. So for India, you have to give in a one list item. Li. So here, England, Pakistan, New Zealand. Save this and see the output. England, India, England, Pakistan are coming in the list items. This is comes under listing, lists. You can create the same UL if you apply with OL instead of UL. If you apply with OL, not 0L, it is OL, you will be able to see the same list with 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Okay, and you can apply some attributes like type for the OL. Type is equal to, okay, let me use this plainly. Copy, OL type is equal to I. So this will come in the Roman numbers. So if you see India 1, England 2, something like this. Okay. The same, if you up the same OL, you can have multiple types like this. If you apply type as A, it will come with A, B, C, D. Here in our website, that has been given what are the different types of UL. You have text formatting, lists, ordered list, unordered list, description list. Try them. What are the different types you can achieve? Ordered lists. Okay. All these are all available along with the examples. Please go through them. Descriptions list also, and try the values. Okay. And the same way, unordered list also, you can apply the type as disk. So if I apply type is equal to DISC, disk. So they will come like this as a disk. Can you see this? This is the default one. Bullet is nothing but the default. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. You can apply something called circle. The circle gives you unfilled circles. Okay. So square gives you square bullets. Yes, you can apply the bottles, ice creams, fish, all these things, but you need some more styling that will be covered in the future. Okay. So these are the list items in which where we can follow it. Okay. Next, we can have something like tables. Of course, structural elements, but I would like to write it as tables dot html. Okay, tables. So here, if I want to display a table of information, you have to use an element called table. Inside that, the table we will be having generally rows, and each row will have the cells. Let us see general tables. So what I mean to the table is, if you want to display the content in this approach, right? Apple, green, medium, oranges, orange, large, pomegranate, this kind of content. Let me copy this. If I copy this and if I put it in my code without any table or anything, that content will be displayed like this. Because it's a new file, I'll go to my practice and double click. It comes like this, right? So if you really want to display them in a proper way, that means here I want to display the content in this way. So here you have to, first of all, you have to identify how many rows are there. So this entire part is first row, this is second row, and this is third row. So totally I have 3 rows. So first I will create a table here, table table. Inside the table I will have 3 rows. So 3 row elements. So in the first row, of course, in every row, we have three cells. This entire apple is in one cell. This entire green is in another cell. This entire medium is in another cell. Oranges is in another cell. So here, these are all cells. So first, TD is, first it is apple, apples. In the second cell, I, so totally three cells. First cell apples, second cell green, and third cell medium. The same way, here also we need three cells. TD, how many cells? Three cells. First cell oranges, second cell color orange, and third cell large. Even in the third row, we have three cells, TD. So we'll create three cells. In the first cell, pomegranate, the content, pomegranate. In the second cell, a kind of, right? Let copy. In the third cell, I'll have this. So now if you see the output of this program, here, the apple, oranges, pomegranate are coming in a tabular format. Yes, you can continue with this. Like if you apply an attribute called border to the table for 2px, it will look more beautiful. If you see, the same table now is looking like a table structure, proper table structure. Okay. And you can give as many as attributes to this. Width is equal to 200 pixels. If I say width as 200 pixels, it will come in 200 pixels width only. That means if something is, if the width is going across, then it will cut the size also. That means it will word wrap also. And if you apply for more width, 800 pixels, which is more than necessary, so then what will happen? It will enlarge it. It will adjust the space equal to the all across all the columns. This is called column. This is called column. This is called column. Right? Yeah. And you can also have a property called align. Align is equal to center. So the entire table is now aligned into the center of the table, center of the page. Okay. So these kind of attributes will help you to organize your table in a proper way. Okay. And the space between one cell to another cell, there is a small space. If you want, you can increase it by one other attribute called cell padding as 20. Save it and refresh the page. You can have more cell padding. Oh, cell padding is not cell to cell space. Cell padding is border to the content. So if you want cell to cell spacing, you need to use cell spacing, that is equal to 10. You can see there is a space between one to another. Okay, like this. Okay, right. Like this, you can apply a height to any of these TDs. For example, if I apply height is equal to 200 pixels, what will happen to the cell? So that cell got a height of 200 pixels. Cell got a height of 200 pixels. So now what I can do with this? Okay, we got the height, but all the contents are displayed on the left middle corner. If you really want to have them in the bottom, still you can have that. Okay, so that is comes under V align as TOP top. So this will change the content into the top. Have you seen it? The content is now displayed on the top of the cell. The same way for V align, you have multiple options. Save for the medium, that is third cell. Oh, baseline. So this is baseline. Okay, let us see what are the possible items we have. V align in HTML. Hmm. This is not bottom line, it is baseline. Let us apply the bottom, BOTTOM bottom. Save and see the output. This is coming under the bottom. Yes. And not only this, if you want to apply any content in the center of the width of the cell, you can still apply that by using text align. Align is equal to RIGHT, right? Yes. Align not only applies to the table, align can be applied to the TD also. If you apply the align property to the TD, it will change the alignment of the text of it. So now this content is coming on the right side of it. And if you want to put this green on the middle, yes, you can do that. How? How do I do it? Yes, align is equal to center, because I just want to put it in the center. See, so with this, you can understand different properties will help the table in displaying different places. Okay.